Well, welcome to this live episode of the Profit by Design podcast. Today, we are going behind the scenes at Tap the Potential, and I've got our lead strategist, Melissa Swire, here with me for this behind the scenes peek. And we're going to talk about something that I think is challenging for all of us business owners, Melissa, and that is, what do our clients really think about us?
Yes, and that's one thing that as small business owners, we really just avoid doing because we just make guesses based on what we think we should be doing, but there's actually a formula to this, and we have the secret sauce.
We have the secret sauce, and we're also going to share our own heart-wrenching, for me, really, it was a heart-wrenching experience 2 years ago when our client services had really fallen off. And I heard some hard feedback from our clients, and had to bring that to the leadership team. So we'll get into that in just a little bit. And then we'll also share with you how we've turned this around, because you have this going on in your business too. And there's times when your service delivery is spot on and you feel so proud of it. And then there's other times where things just go off the rails. And so we're going to share with you what we have done to systematically address this. And hopefully, I'm fingers crossed, but I feel really confident that we have the systems in place where we can sustain really strong client delivery in our services area. So as we get into that, I want to share with you something very exciting that's happening at Tap the Potential. We are all about supporting you with hiring A players and helping you grow your team with A players. And in just a couple of weeks, we are putting on a workshop. We've never delivered this workshop before. It's entirely brand new content. And I'm going to be teaching you how to unlock your profit potential utilizing the power of A players on your team, and talking to you about how to attract them for 10x growth. So this is a workshop on November 16th, 1 o'clock to 2:30 Central. You want to mark this on your calendar and plan to join us live, because there will be teaching, but it's going to be very interactive. You'll get to talk with me, Caitlin Beaver, who also teaches the How to Hire the Best course with me. She will be there walking you through some exercises, and you can ask us questions about the current challenges that you're dealing with and how does this workshop material apply in your situation. So we're going to really help you customize it. So make sure you're registered for it. Head over to tapthepotential.com/workshop. And I also want to say, if you're not marking your calendar to join us live every Friday, why not? Because we have great topics, and you get to, when you're live here with us on social, you get to ask us questions. So Melissa and I will be monitoring the chat as we go today. So if something we're sharing relates to you, please give us a thumbs up. If you have a friend that you think would benefit from what we're talking about today, tag them in the chat so that you bring this episode to their attention. We go live every Friday on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at 11:30 Central. Okay, so Melissa, let's dive in. And I think we need to set the stage. So we're going to go back to December of 2021. So everybody remembers, right? That was COVID time still. We were long deep into COVID, and we were all tired and burnt out. Our team at Tap the Potential had really had financial struggles because of COVID. And so we were having to run things on a shoestring because our revenue had really fallen off the cliff, quite honestly. And we had been so focused on addressing the revenue and cash flow problems, I think we took our eye off the ball. One of the things that we do every December is we survey our clients across all of our groups with a 5-question survey. And that 5-question survey includes the Net Promoter Score question, which is, how likely are you to refer us to your friends, colleagues, and family members on a scale of 1 to 10? And if anybody's not familiar with the Net Promoter Score, it's a great way of, number one, measuring client satisfaction and happiness, but also likelihood of referring. So really, I mean, it's a one question that can quickly put the pulse on your service delivery. And 9s and 10s are promoters, 7s and 8s are passives, and 6s and below are detractors. And the way you calculate your Net Promoter Score is it's the percentage of your promoters minus the percentage of your detractors. The typical company, average American large company, is going to have a Net Promoter Score of 20, which that doesn't sound great, right? I don't think it's a good score. And I've always taught our clients at Tap the Potential that in small business, because you're closer to your customers, your Net Promoter Score should be much higher as a small business. And historically at Tap the Potential, because we've been tracking this score for years, historically, we've been in the 80 to 100 range. I think one time we had a 70, but 70, 80, 100 consistently. And then in December of 2021, Melissa, we were at 20.
Yeah, it
And
hurt.
it hurt bad. And there's a follow-up question that we use, and that is, what is the reason for the score that you gave? And so I read through those survey responses, and I did it again just before this call. So I'm a little choked up about it because it kind of took me back to the trauma of all of this. And I saw the people that I know very well who I had brought into the program and, really encouraged them. This is going to be a great place for you and you're going to get what you need. And I saw their names and I saw their feedback, and they were making comments like, let's see, what did they say? I just feel a little lost with where I'm going in the program. I really need someone to push me forward. And that's one of our big promises, that like, we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to give you a plan. Another person said, I need a lot more help with setting and breaking down goals. I need someone to push me forward. I need greater accountability. And so those were things that we were hearing that, to me, just kind of cut me right to my heart. Melissa, you were brand new. You'd been with us, but you were moving into a leadership role. So you were brand new on our leadership team. So share with me a little bit about how you experienced that and what went through your head when you heard that.
So I'm a people person. My people map type is people leader. This cut me to the core. It was really heart-wrenching. And it's so important for us to ensure that our clients are successful with our program, and that we're really impacting them in their business and in their life. So this is something that we really took to heart and jumped in, looking for every way that we could improve our customer delivery. So we reflected back on wish list interviews, which we conduct annually with our top clients, and we dug into what that information would provide us. And the wish list interview is approximately 10 questions that you ask when you meet with your top clients to discover what they want and need. So as I said earlier, business owners are usually just floundering, picking out the things that they feel that they need to be doing in their business.
Yes.
But more importantly, you need to be asking the right questions to discover what they truly need and want. And that's what we did. So I went back to our prior year's wish list interviews, conducted new wish list interviews to determine what we could do to really provide them the support that we need. And the result of that became an opportunity for us to really refine our systems. So previously, when we were coming into small group coaching our clients, we knew our clients, we knew everything that was going on in their businesses. But the reason why there was a lack of accountability was because we weren't writing those accountability steps in a system. So we've systematized that. And when we go into group every week, we always warn our clients, when you say you're going to do something, we're going to hold you accountable because we're going to be asking you about it in the next group. And that's what we did. And that really brought a high level of accountability to our coaching. The other thing that we did was implemented quarterly action plan reviews meetings. So all of our clients receive a customized action plan when they begin the Better Business, Better Life program. And the way that that was originally delivered was we delivered their action plan and we supported them during our group meetings on achieving the goals in their action plan. But Dr. Sabrina, you and I decided to take that a step further and have a one-on-one quarterly action plan review meeting with me. And during that time, it gives us the opportunity to determine along with our clients what they should be working on each quarter. So because we already know what's going on behind the scenes in their business, we're helping them filter out the shiny object syndrome and really focus on the one thing that they need to be working on. And we break it down even further into giving them all of the action steps that they will need to support completing that goal.
Yes. Melissa, that was such a huge, and I want to point out to those of you listening that when you start looking at how can you improve service delivery, it can feel overwhelming. And so Melissa used information from our wish list interviews to figure out where should we focus first? Where can we have the greatest impact? And she looked at simple systematic changes. These changes did not cost us anything to do. And the other thing, when we implemented the quarterly action plan review meeting, the one-to-one meeting that clients have every quarter with Melissa, we were building on our sweet spot because one of the things that we hear consistently from our clients is that they appreciate that even though this is a group coaching program, they get so much one-to-one attention from us and opportunities for coaching one-to-one. And so we realized that was a significant opportunity that we could just capitalize on what we already do well and just do some more of it. And that would help. And I think this is so important because, Melissa, like you were saying, business owners get so overwhelmed by the day to day and forget to set quarterly goals, for one, or don't set them very well. They create these vague goals. So you've really dug in with our clients and made sure that they set the goals every quarter, because you're following up with them. And we actually have a KPI that Melissa is accountable for that we measure in relation to this. And it's 100%. We have 100% of our clients who have quarterly goals documented and that we are checking in with them every meeting around and holding that accountability. So that's that other step of just adding a question in every group call for each client around, here's what you said you were going to do. And I'm often the one who does the accountability check with the clients. And I think that creates an extra little intimidation factor because Dr. Sabrina can be intimidating. No, I'm teasing. But it does. I think it heightens the accountability. And a lot of times people will say, oh my gosh, I completely forgot I was going to do that. And they write it down and they'll do it next time. And they show up to the meeting next time. And Melissa, let's talk a little bit about Mariella and how she supports us with this too.
Oh, so Mariella is just a phenomenal addition to our team. She's an intern and a college student who is going to school for business, but really, really, really wants to be a strategist or coach. So she has a lot of skin in the game and she really supports us in our small groups. And she is there every group, either live on the call or watching the recordings, taking notes for accountability for you, Dr. Sabrina, and myself to be sure that we are catching everything that our clients are telling us. And I love when you said that level of intimidation. I think it's what we do is hold our clients lovingly in our arms, and they don't want to disappoint us because they know that we have their best intentions at heart. So Mariella offers a huge value to our groups. And she has a different perspective through her experiences, and being from a generation unlike us, has a wealth of knowledge and value that she supports our clients with as it pertains to marketing and social media. And her parents are business owners too, so she brings us great value in the dynamic of how married couples can effectively run a business together and make decisions.
Yeah, and I just need to give a shout out around that to Mary Ella, because she grew up in this family business, and she has a tremendous perspective on the challenges, and she can really appreciate what our clients are going through. So she's not just going through a transcript and pulling out accountability items. Like, she is listening, she's learning, because she's developing herself as a future strategist. But then she's bringing things to Melissa and me and saying, have you thought about this? Or, maybe this could be a good way of handling things for them. And so it just adds one more layer. And this is what we hear over and over from our clients, is that at Tap the Potential, they know they're in good hands, because not only do we have all the coaching certifications and Profit First and Pumpkin Plan, we also have real life, real world business experience. And this was specifically called out on recent wish list interviews that we did. You were acknowledged, Melissa, for the business experience. And Melissa brings in a strong marketing background that our clients have really benefited from. So, Melissa, I want you to talk a little bit about your business experience and how you have woven that in to increase the quality of service for our clients.
Sure. So for 18 years, I ran corporate level preschools. At one point managed several locations, and that brought such a vast wealth of experience for marketing, employee hiring, training, retention. After that, I had a business on Etsy for about 9 years, and we were the top 1% of Etsy worldwide. So about 1,100 out of 3 million Etsy stores, specializing in a niche service. And the real value gain there was the marketing experience, as well as customer relations, and really getting to the sweet spot of my business. At that point, I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but by listening to my customers' needs and wants, I was able to discover that niche and be very successful. I left that industry because I do love working with people, and I felt very isolated. So I brought that expertise over to Tap the Potential, and actually started as your executive assistant, Dr. Sabrina. That's the position that you had available, and I just really wanted to work with Tap the Potential. And from that point on, really just dug in, obtaining certifications and training that I needed to best serve our clients and our team.
Yeah, and so I think one of the strong points that you have, in addition to your business background in systems, operations, dealing with team members, you are very strong in creating structure for our clients. And I also remember one of the early things that you did as you came into this role is you decided we need to have teaching time in every group.
Mm-hmm.
And you got our Tap the Potential binder that we send to our clients that has all of our resources in there. And you created an Excel spreadsheet, and you said, we're just going to take one topic, a group meeting, and I'm going to teach on it. And so this was ensuring, because our clients were getting a binder with all these resources, but then we were hearing feedback that they weren't referencing it, they weren't using it, they forgot about it, they couldn't find things. And so this was just a way to reconnect our clients with the binder and all the resources that we have available for them. And then Melissa has done something very recently. Do you want to talk about the tracker?
Yes. So the beginning, this year's wish list interviews were so phenomenal, because what we did at the beginning of the year was incorporated a tiered system group approach. So now, instead of just having several small groups, we have small groups that are based on 3 tiers. So there's an entry level foundational group where we're really focusing on time freedom and putting your pumpkin plan in place. And then our clients have that opportunity to jump up to the next group where we are executing everything that we learn. And then they move forward into our ascension group. And then the ascension group, those are the business owners who have their leadership teams in place. They're taking their 4-week vacations. And having this structure has been so phenomenal because everyone in each group is on the same level, working on the same things in their businesses. And it really provided an opportunity for clients who in the past weren't quite ready for our services, but now we're giving them the opportunity to meet those needs. And so many times we're hearing, gosh, I wish I would have done this sooner. I've been listening to the podcast for several years. I've been coming to the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart. I wish I would have done this a long time ago. So that has been incredible. And then I developed the Better Business, Better Life tracker spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet is essentially our entire curriculum in the Better Business, Better Life program. And it takes you through our entire onboarding process so that you understand what's going to be happening when you first join, who you're going to be meeting with, what deliverables you're going to receive, how to reach out to everyone. And then we go through an entire checklist for every single group. And there's so many things I love about this, but most of us love the satisfaction. Dr. Sabrina, I know this is one of your favorite things of checking something off on a list. So our tracker has a check off and also a link to resources and videos and PDFs that will support our clients along the way of building the systems in their businesses. And it's a really good guide for you as a small business owner to see that you're getting things done, because so many times we are very hard on ourselves because we have this big goal that we're working on and we feel like we're not making any headway on it. But our checklist, as well as our action plans, gives our clients the opportunity to see, yeah, you're making improvements and we're working towards this goal together.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've implemented this. And when Dr. Sabrina, when we conducted our wish list interviews this year, it was heartwarming and our feedback continuously. Another thing that we do are milestone celebrations. So at the end of each year with our clients, we have a milestone celebration and we get to celebrate all of their accomplishments. And those just continually come in and just move me to tears when we hear the feedback, because the feedback that we're getting is, this has been life-changing.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming again. My business is growing. I have time to spend with my spouse and my children unplugged, and I don't have the business in the background racing around. We're seeing all these things, and what we've discovered with our wish list interviews is how our clients perceive our program, which is a holistic program.
Yes. And that the last milestone celebration we did just this week, one of our clients said, I don't believe there's any other business coaching program that is holistic.
Yeah.
So holistic meaning we're looking at all aspects of the business. We're not just focused on one aspect, but the whole business as a whole and how it works together and how it integrates in the business owner's life. So all the pieces are included in what we do with our clients. And I think one of the other pieces of feedback that we hear in these wish list interviews, which I love it, and then that is that we are personal. Yes. We know our clients. They trust when they come into a group meeting. They don't have to bring a new coach up to speed on their situation. We know their situation and we remember it from meeting to meeting, and we document because we have Mariella helping us take notes. So we document all of this, and that feeling of being known is, I think, so important because it's very easy in a business coaching group program to get lost. Mm-hmm. And that feeling of being lost, we had another client touch on this in the wish list interview because they said, that they always felt in other programs like they were running to catch the bus.
Mm.
And, that feeling of there's so much here and it's overwhelming, so much I need to learn and do, and it's overwhelming and I can't keep up. And as a matter of fact, we have a brand new client that we're onboarding who made a similar comment to me about, he said, I just have one concern. And he said, I don't think it's going to be a problem here, but I just need to voice this. And he talked about being in another program and just feeling like he didn't take advantage of the program and what was offered because he just didn't have the time to do it. And he always felt like he was behind. And I said, you know what? That's not going to be a problem here. We go at your pace. You have the tracker of what to check off. You know what to work on from, you could do this, you move on to the next thing. If you don't know how to do it, you reach out to us, we give you support. Or you come into the coaching and you go at your own pace. And the other piece around that is you are so intentional with our clients when they start our program of teaching them how to manage their time.
Yes.
And Melissa, I want you to talk about that because every client coming in has that challenge and you're a whiz. Like you whip us into shape and get us focused on our $10,000 an hour activities. So how do you do that?
Time management is the key to everything. It's the key to being a successful entrepreneur. And so many times small business owners come into the program and they want to start tackling these big things. And we pull them back and say, wait a minute. If you're not handling your calendar, if you don't have the time and space to implement all of these ideas, you are not going to be able to approach these $10,000 an hour activities. So we have several tools and resources that we use, which include implementing a time block calendar system, conducting time audits. This causes a lot of friction for business owners because we started our businesses to be in control. And the last thing we want to do is write down all of the time that we're spending on various tasks. However, every time a business owner conducts a time audit, and I ask that these be done over the span of 2 weeks, every little thing written down, we free up hours of time. We use the information from the time audit to then figure out what tasks can be delegated, what tasks could be let go of because it's not serving the vision of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And we really look at an ideal day schedule. So we want our clients to write down their ideal work week. At Tap the Potential, all of us are part-time.
Mm-hmm.
So being intentional about our time is extremely important. And every time I conduct a time audit, even though I've been doing this for years, I always find a way to shave time off. Right. So we're continuously looking at this. And Dr. Sabrina, many times it's as a business owner, we think we're the only ones that can do certain things. So we ignore the $10,000 an hour activities because we're stuck in the trap of writing a blog post or having a meeting that really isn't offering the most value. So we're teaching our clients to take control.
Yeah, that's such a big situation that you're helping them deal with because it affects every area of life. And I think it's the number one reason that business owners don't have success in most coaching programs because they don't learn how to manage their time to be able to even utilize the program. And one of our big promises is we're going to help you free up time right away so that you can utilize what you're learning in the program. And because we have been researching entrepreneurship, we've conducted research now with over 600 entrepreneurs using our Better Business, Better Life assessment. We know what systems need to be put in place to free up the business owner's time and create profitability in the business. So that the whole Tap the Potential solution is designed to support these business owners in taking their lives back from their business and making their business sustainably profitable. So that when you're working with them on their time audit and blocking time for their $10,000 an hour activities, and they start working through their action plan, which applies the Tap the Potential solution, and it's unique. We don't have a cookie cutter program. This is the other piece of feedback that we hear over and over. You guys aren't cookie cutter. You don't force me to fit in a mold. We want you to take the pieces of the Tap the Potential solution, and whatever's weak in your business, we're going to help you strengthen those. And if you have an area that's strong, we're not going to beat you over the head with it and say you have to do this. If that's already in place, we're going to move you to the next thing, because we're working with you based on what your individual goals are. When you come into our program, Melissa asks you, what are the wins that you want to celebrate with us a year from now? And she captures that. It goes in your action plan. Your action plan, in terms of accountability, we're looking at it all the time. And every quarter, you're meeting with Melissa to look at it. But also, when we get to that milestone celebration at the end of the first year with us, we tell you to go back and look at your wins and compare, like, where are you in relation to those wins? So it's this full circle experience. And one of the things that I'm incredibly proud of us for is our percentage of clients who renew or ascend with us. So we have 70 to 88%, depending on which quarter we're measuring, 70 to 88% of our clients renewing or ascending with us. That's incredible in a coaching program. 50% is good, but 70 to 88% is phenomenal. And it speaks to our clients are getting value. And that's one of our KPIs that we use to measure what is the value that our clients are delivering. And I want to brag, because I started this episode talking about that low net promoter score of 20 or 22, and where we are now with it. Our net promoter score has consistently been anywhere from, it's been 100% since July of 2022, with the exception of one quarter where it briefly dropped to 70. So December of 2021 is when we had that 20 or 22. And in 7 months' time, with the changes that Melissa brought in and how she beefed up our accountability and the systems, it got us up to 100 with our clients. And that's phenomenal. And I'm bragging on us, but I'm sharing this because every one of you can do this in your business. This isn't it was small steps forward, and then we took them in a consistent direction, and they've led to big change over time. Melissa, what do you want to add to that?
So what I would love to add to that is the key to our success is, Dr. Sabrina, you as our fearless leader value the input from your team members. And when we meet weekly on our leadership team calls, we're discussing issues, and you're taking our feedback and you value it. And then you support us with putting these strategies in place to improving our program. And I that's what I love about Tap the Potential, is that you encourage your team members to innovate. That's really important. And I feel like the reason why we have increased so much is because not only are we providing that accountability, but we're helping our clients remain unstuck.
Yes.
So when we create our action plans, the first thing I say, which is the most challenging question, is, if I can wave a magic wand and it's a year from today, what one thing can we do together to make you feel as if you've earned a multiple return on your investment? That is key for me, because when our clients complete our assessments, our questionnaires, we have our analysis meeting where when you first come into the program, I'm asking you all of the things about you and your business and getting to know you. I already have a very clear picture of what you need to be working on in all areas: systems, operations, sales, marketing, your revenue goals. A very clear picture is painted before our clients even begin to tell us what goals they want to complete within the year. But that one main goal is really important for me to continue to hold our clients accountable for, to hold their hands through this process so that we can help them achieve what's most important to them. And this allows for that work-life balance
Yes.
that they're seeking. And that's how we create the wins. And that's why our clients stay with us.
Yeah. And just to speak to the multiples on the return on investment. So, number one, we're very intentional that we want to create multiples on the return on investment. We're so intentional about it. We will not bring you into the program if we're not confident that we can produce at least a 3-to-1 return on your investment. And so that means finding ways to cut expenses, finding ways to make your business more lean, finding ways to help you increase your sales. It can come in from multiple areas, and the return on the quality of life. And we when we ask our clients about that, they always say, "Well, that's priceless. Like, how do you put a dollar figure on that?" And that's the best feedback, is that return on investment is priceless. And one of our clients in our most recent round of wish list interviews commented that she loves that she can invest in a business coaching program that helps her grow her business and produces a return on investment. And she just has fun. Like, this is part of her social support, and how she feeds her soul is coming to our groups and feeling safe and supported with other business owners and us. And she likes us too, I think, Melissa. Um, that's part of how she fills her cup and keeps going. And for her, it's so cool that she can do that. And there's a return on investment in being able to do that.
Yeah,
So
and I think we should call out our clients here. Our community is
yes.
so important. And in our small groups, our clients are receiving more than just our coaching. They're really being coached from their peers. So they're showing up with individuals who are like-minded, who are having the same struggles that you are. And one of our clients mentioned this last week. I may not have this struggle today, but I'm going to have it 6 months from now. So it's so great to hear how others are navigating this, and the experience and the resources that they bring. So being in the small group is really like being in your own family of business owners, and we all rely on one another. So we definitely want to shout out our clients and the value that they bring to one another.
Absolutely. Yeah. So today, Melissa and I have shared with you behind the scenes at Tap the Potential, where our own service delivery slipped off the rails, and how painful that was, and exactly what we did to get it back on track. And it's that combination of being in tune, listening to our clients, taking in their feedback. So we had to not be afraid to ask. And so when our clients in the Better Business, Better Life program are doing their first round of wish list interviews, a lot of times it takes courage to go have that first phone call with a client, a top client, and ask for their input. But a lot of times after that first phone call, we hear them say, "Oh, that wasn't that painful. I actually heard good things." And the other thing that's interesting to me is that our clients, no matter what business we're in, our clients are only paying attention to 20% of what we're doing. So if we don't know what that 20% is that they're paying attention to, we could be over here working on this thing and be completely missing the mark in what they are valuing and what they wish we would be doing more of or doing better for them. And so, just in an example from our recent wish list interview, someone said it's so easy to set appointments with you guys. You guys have created a lot of ease around that. That used to be a huge barrier, like that we were hearing over and over as a problem. And so it's these little things, and we make adjustments. And so don't be afraid to talk to your top clients. Yes, you're going to hear some things that might be painful, like we did, but those are learning opportunities. Those are opportunities to look at what's the value in this feedback and how can I do better. And I also want to say, sometimes people say, well, should I just send the Net Promoter Score question to all of our clients? No. Because not all of your clients are top clients. When we do the wish list interviews, we have analyzed our top clients. We've scored them, and the ones that get interviewed are the ones who have A's or A pluses. And it's not just the revenue they bring into the business, it's ease of doing business, alignment with our immutable laws. If we make mistakes, they don't beat us up. They give us the feedback and let us improve, which is key to taking their feedback, because they're not going to beat you up. They're doing it lovingly. And, it just, when we did this most recent milestone celebration, we got a net promoter score of 10. And then there was a long paragraph of here's what you could do better. And I was like, hey, that's cool. I'm all over that because you're saying we're doing a good job and you're showing us what's next, what we need to keep working on. And so one of the things that is hard is getting the wish list interviews and then not really seeing much to improve, because we're like, oh, what? So we just kind of keep doing the same thing. That's not very exciting. What else is in here? What can we do? And so we love when we get that specific feedback of, and here's what you guys could do better. So I want to encourage you, don't be afraid to talk to your top clients. Use the wish list interview process, and we guide you through that when you're in our Better Business, Better Life program. Because the information in there is so valuable. And if you've been a client of Tap the Potential and you haven't done a wish list interview in a year or two, what are you waiting for? You need to get back and get into that routine. And that's why we have our program laid out for multiple levels. So we support business owners who've done all the foundational work, and you're at the next level in your business because you don't want to stop doing all the good things that you have been doing. And this happens so often in business is we get foundational things in place, and then we chase the next shiny object and we don't stick with what's working. So we've created the Tap the Potential solution because it is ongoing in your business. It's not a once and done thing. It's an ongoing process. And in our Better Business, Better Life development tracker, we have laid out, if you're at year 3 or year 4 with us in Tap the Potential, here are the pieces that you need to keep doing and do it consistently and have that accountability to do it. So we've really, Melissa, one of our next areas to venture into is how we support our clients who have been using the Tap the Potential solution for 4, 5, 6, 7 years now. Mm-hmm. And what does that look like in their businesses?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So I want to thank everyone who has been with us today, and I'd love to hear your feedback on this episode. So if you're watching it in social, please leave some comments, what resonated for you. If you have any questions, we will come back in after the episode is over and we'll answer your questions. So leave some comments with your questions. Remember, we're just 2 weeks out from our upcoming webinar, Unlocking Profit Potential, the Power of A Players and How to Attract Them for 10x Growth. Be sure you're registered for that. Head on over to tapthepotential.com/workshop. And I want to let you know, be sure, mark your calendar, join me live next week as I discuss how to deal with an underperforming team member. This is a direct question that came in from our community. And it's a tough question. It's one that I think so many of us can relate to. So I'm going to walk you through this and help you get crystal clear on the actions that will help you make a decision as to whether or not to keep this team member and coach them, or to let the team member go. And if you do decide to keep them and coach them, what are you looking for? And how do you know they're making progress? And then how long should you let this go on? That's another big question that we get a lot. So don't miss an episode. Subscribe to the Profit by Design podcast. Subscribe to the Profit by Design podcast on whatever platform you're listening to podcasts on. Melissa, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for having me today.